The prosthetic design process in OrthoVR begins with a raw 3D scan mesh. The software doesn't know which part of this scan is leg, pants, or chair, so the first step is to highlight the region that contains the residual limb. The rest of the scan is discarded. In VR, we can easily make the limb much larger, about 1 meter tall, which makes it much easier to work on. The next step is to align the scan relative to the ground plane. This is a critical step. If the socket base is misaligned, then it will not properly support the wearer and be uncomfortable. VR makes this much easier because the prosthetist can simply grab the limb and rotate it, just like they would with a physical plaster cast. Once the scan is aligned, we move on to what is called rectification. In this step, the prosthetist modifies the shape of the scan so that it will be more comfortable and safe to wear. In some areas, material is removed so that the limb is slightly compressed. Because the limb changes shape as the wearer moves, other areas of the scan are enlarged to make room for muscles and bones. The prosthetist uses several different 3D tools to make these shape changes. Once the limb has been reshaped, the parametric socket can be added. The main thing left for the prosthetist to do is to create the trim line which defines the shape of the top of the socket. The prosthetist specifies the trim line with a curve on the base surface. In our system, we initialize the curve using a cross-section plane, and then a brush-style interface is used to sculpt it into the right shape. Much like other VR sculpting tools, we have found that this interface is immediately understandable to users who are not 3D experts. Finally, once the trim line is set, the prosthetist can generate a socket. The 3D printable socket is a thickened shell that conforms to the reshaped limb, with a standard connector smoothly blended into the base. If tweaks to the trim line are necessary, the socket automatically updates. Now we have a finished socket. From here, we can go straight to the 3D printer.